Alrighty, folks, let's talk about a quarterback here that we really have not talked about. We have not heard any real great things from Zach Wilson. We've heard some good things of Trevor Lawrence, not a lot, but some decent things. We've been hearing great things about Trey Lance. I mean, we've heard more great things about Trey Lance than we heard from Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence, and we've also heard a lot of great things from Justin Fields. So what is going on with Zach Wilson? Truly, what is going on with Trevor Lawrence as well, because he's in a quarterback competition with Gardner Minshew. So what the hell is that about? But truly, Zach Wilson, he is the only guy. There's no other quarterback on this team that should be playing right now. I mean, when we look at the Jets quarterback depth chart, it's Zach Wilson as a starter, obviously, and then it's James Morgan and Mike White and Josh Johnston. It's like none of those players will ever play in this league. So when it comes to Zach Wilson and the Jets, it's he better get it together because he's the week one starter instantly. You need to go out there and get it done. But we haven't been hearing anything great from him, about him, anything like that. We've seen no highlights of this man. We've been seeing highlights of Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields and Trey Lance and all that, even Jimmy Garoppolo. But we have not been seeing or hearing anything from Zach Wilson. But we get this right now, and this is not great, folks. Jets quarterback Zach Wilson struggles in a simulated game at MetLife Stadium. Coach Robert Saleh says Wilson had, quote, some good moments, and obviously he had some rookie moments. So he's not really progressing as well as maybe the Jets thought he would. The number 2 overall pick, high value there. You had, your cream of the crop. You just didn't have Trevor Lawrence to pick from. So you go with Zach Wilson over Trey Lance, who's already kind of showing that he could be the starter. Justin Fields, you chose Zach Wilson over Justin Fields, and Justin Fields is already kind of proving he could be the week one starter. So let's go into this article right here and see truly what the hell is going on here with Zach Wilson. Can we buy into this Jets team? We have not gotten to the Jets in our team refresher, but when we get there, we really can't put too much stake in Zach Wilson really doing anything meaningful this season. So let's see what we get here. Let's read through this, and hopefully maybe there's some good takeaways in this article of Zach Wilson, hopefully, because we've gotten no good takeaways at all from this man. And we're, heading into week 3 of training camp. That's never a great sign. So let's see what we get here. We're 5 weeks away from seeing how Jets rookie quarterback Zach Wilson will perform in a real NFL game. On Saturday night, he struggled in his first simulated NFL game at MetLife Stadium. Via Rich Cimini of ESPN.com, Wilson threw 2 interceptions and led the starting offense to only 3 points in 7 possessions against the starting defense. He completed 11 of 24 passes for 112 yards. Well, that's below 50% completion percentage, so that's trash, but he did average about 10 yards a pass, which isn't bad. That's kind of like the average standard you want to see. If you're making a pass, you better make sure it's like 10 yards. You cannot be, completing 20 passes for like 130 yards. I mean, that's absolutely trash. So Zach Wilson, not really great. 7 possessions and 3 points. Jeez. That's not going to win a game, folks. I'll tell you that. So that's not great here by Zach Wilson. This is going to be real interesting to see. Now I'm really excited to watch this man in the preseason so we can finally see what this man is truly capable of. But from this short little quip right here, this is not great for the man. So what else do we get here? So what did Wilson think of his showing? Quote, not great, Wilson said. I have high expectations for myself in this offense. I have led the guys, and I have to make better decisions. That's why this isn't game 1. That's why we're doing this. I understand that. Of course, I'm going to be frustrated with myself, but I'm going back to the film room and find out what I can learn. So obviously the right attitude to have, the right things to be said here. This is, not even a preseason game. This is a preseason game. I mean, this is to get me ready for the first preseason game. Just, the tempo, the fluidity, how it's ran, the timing, all that, getting up to the line, breaking my huddles, all that. So, we're not going to, totally flop on this man. We're not going to totally knock this man and, sell this man 100% just because he didn't do good in the preseason game. But it's still not a great look since we've been hearing some great things from some other quarterbacks. And we're going to see some other quarterbacks later in the show that are like, all right, they're ready to rock right now. So let's quickly go to this Jets depth chart because we know they don't have the most A1 tier 1 pieces. They did pick up Corey Davis in the offseason, and he is absolutely magnificent. We are big on Corey Davis. 984 yards last season with the Titans, and he's 6'3", which, gives any quarterback that extra just kind of, go up and get it. Usually corners are like 5'10" to 6'1", and if you're 6'3", you just have that instant win because of the height matchup. So you give your quarterback just a little bit more freedom and how he can throw the ball. Hey, I can throw it a little bit higher. I can, be a little bit riskier down the field because I can trust my receiver to go up and get it. So I can, throw it a little bit higher down the field. And there's really no chance that an interception or a pass breakup, it either falls incomplete because I threw it too high or the receiver goes up and makes a magnificent catch and we're 25, 30 yards down the field on the first down. Fantastic. So Zach Wilson does have some solid pieces to go to. Corey Davis, obviously. Jamison Crowder, he's all right. He caught, 700 yards last season. He's only 5'9", though, so he's not really helping you out too much. They got Keelan Cole. What is he looking like? 600 yards last season, 6'1", real solid Jaguars last season. So he's got an A1 wide receiver, but that's only one, and he's really going to be covered by the A1 corner on the opposing team. What do we got tight end-wise? We got Chris Herndon. Chris Herndon. What do we got here? 6'4". He only caught 287 yards. I don't think he went to tight end university. I'm almost certain this man did not go to tight end university this season, and that's never great. We hold big stock in tight end university. If you did not get invited there, you're missing out on a ton of knowledge. So let's quickly scroll through the list of who attended tight end university, and I do not believe... Let me get the name here. Chris Herndon was on this invitee list. Here we go. We're scrolling. Chris Herndon, where art thou? I don't think any Jets tight end got here. Oh, no, we did. All right. Chris Herndon did get to tight end university, so we can buy the tight end a little bit more. That's great. That's actually a huge, great sign here. Hopefully he learned a lot, and, only time will tell when we can watch this man out on the field. And hopefully Zach Wilson is trying to go down to... trying to kind of get Chris Herndon the ball a little bit more out there. This is kind of the new passing in the league, folks. This emergence of tight ends catching 1,000-yard receiving seasons. That is no longer out of the realm of possibilities. Before... I would probably say since like 2015 on, it's maybe even 2016 on, the tight end position has started to really blossom. But before kind of 2015, 2016, like being great at the tight end was like catching 500 yards, 600 yards. Like that was really impressive. But now we're shifting that narrative because we just saw Travis Kelce catch 1,400 yards. It's absolutely fantastic. I think Darren Waller had 1,000 yards as well. So this is kind of the new standard. We can't be having, tight ends catch 200, 300, 400 yards anymore. That's not getting it done. So let's see if Chris Herndon can get the job done, and if Zach Wilson acknowledges Chris Herndon and what he's learned from tight end university, and hopefully the offensive coordinator and Robert Saleh are working together to go out and make these tight ends lethal weapons. And once again, that's just going to open up the entire passing game, making it easier for Corey Davis, making it easier for the running game. Now, let's talk about the running game now. They have a rookie running back in Michael Carter. I'm not the biggest believer in him, but we'll see what he can do. And then they got Tevin Coleman as the backup. What did he rush for? Only 53 yards last season. I'm assuming he didn't really play any games last year. So they don't really have these great pieces, and they would need Zach Wilson to really kind of elevate everybody else around him. And that's really hard for a rookie to come out and do year one. So nothing is truly looking great here for this Jets team, especially now that you have, rookie head coach Robert Saleh on top of it all. So it's going to be real hard to really see how many wins this Jets team could truly get this year, since everything has just been not really coming together as well as I'm sure Robert Saleh would have liked it. But let's get back into this article right here and finish it up. First year coach Robert Saleh had a better assessment of Wilson's first practice without offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur just a few feet away. Quote, there was no one to turn to for him to talk to have that experience and to have to be able to go through it all. These moments are priceless for him. He had some good moments, and obviously he had some rookie moments. So once again, just that overall, getting the overall field of a simulated game. So when he goes into preseason, he's not lost. And when he's ready for week one, for that first week one game where all the fans are in the stands and everything matters now. Stats matter. Winning matters. Losing freaking kills you. It crushes you. You've been building months on end end, putting in the work, blood, sweat, and tears, the grind on the field. And when you start losing, the locker room will start to turn. Yes, week 1, it's like, all right, we've got week 2, let's brush it off. But once we're talking about week 9, 10, and you only have 2 or 3 wins, and the season's already over, and there's no way you can mathematically make the playoffs, then it just goes worse and worse and worse from there. So you really have to start winning right out of the gate, or being competitive right out of the gate, before you start losing some of these kind of pieces. And the first pieces to go are really defense, because they're like, we're doing our part. The offense isn't putting up points. We just saw that with the Bears kind of the last 2 years, with Mitch Trubisky truly not getting it done, winning the games. Hopefully Zach Wilson does a little bit better than that, but it's really hard to kind of tell with all this really non-greatness over here with the Jets. Let's continue. Here we go. A crowd of nearly 20,000 at MetLife Stadium showed patience with Wilson. There was no booing. That's great. You don't want, your fans booing the starter, the face of the franchise. That's just going to get in his head. So that's great by the fans there. Love that. Quote by Wilson: "It's all part of the process. We're all learning. I've got to make some decisions, but I know I can learn from all those. This is the reason we do this sort of thing." So once again, they're not panicking. They know this is kind of the natural progression, and they're all still trying to buy in here. So the Jets' future franchise quarterback has 5 weeks to learn what he can before the Jets player, that's a typo. Before the Jets play their first game that counts against former Jets future franchise quarterback Sam Darnold. Do they really have the Panthers week 1? Is that true? That is kind of, I kind of love that, because I want to see Sam Darnold lose. I kind of want to see the Panthers be trashed this season, and it's no disrespect to the Panthers fans or really the Panthers players. The only person I really have beef with is Matt Rule, because we were kind of buying into Teddy Bridgewater last season. Yes, they didn't win, but I mean, given the circumstances, no Christian McCaffrey, first-time quarterback with the Panthers, first-time head coach in this league, coming up from the college system. I thought it was a decent year. You didn't have to go out there and be Super Bowl champions or NFC champions. Year 1. You had a natural progression to build upon that, but he went with Sam Darnold over Teddy Bridgewater. That made no sense to us. So that's kind of why I want this Panthers team to be bad. So let's go to the Jets right here. And is it their week 1 opponent? This would be crazy. Yeah, they got the Panthers in Carolina, though. That I wish it was in MetLife Stadium, unfortunately, but it is in Carolina. Jeez, wow. Alrighty. Wilson won't have to worry about the home crowd booing him either. He makes his NFL debut on the road at Carolina. Well, I guess we should have just read the rest of the article before we spent 30 seconds figuring it out. So that's our kind of first look at Zach Wilson, folks. Nothing great, truly nothing great, but at the same time, no real 100% cause for concern. We'll mark our cause for concern at we'll give it about 60%, midway, a little bit more than halfway, at the 50% mark, just because we have been hearing and seeing great things for the other rookies. So it's not out of the realm of no rookies are doing good at the current moment, so we shouldn't expect Zach Wilson to kind of be the outlier. Well, we have been seeing it, and it's the later first-round draft picks. So, not great for Zach Wilson here, folks. But we'll see what he can do in the first preseason game. See if he turns it around any.